You watch a bidder walk up to an item. They look at the sheet, they write their name, they walk away. That is it. One bid, one person, done. Now multiply that by 40 items. You have 40 items with one bid each. The auction closes. Half of them sell at the starting price. The other half never get a second bid at all. You raised half of what you could have. The frustrating part is that the bidders were in the room. They were interested. They just never came back. Doubling your bid count does not mean finding more bidders. It means re-engaging the ones you already have. Today we are breaking down the 3 mechanics that make that happen. You can implement all 3 before your next event. This is the $1 Million Nonprofit, the daily podcast for fundraising practitioners. Every episode gives you one specific tip to raise more money. If your items close with 1 or 2 bids, you are in the right place. Before we get into the mechanics, today's episode is brought to you by charityauctions.com. That is the platform powering thousands of nonprofit auctions every year. The data from those events is clear. Auctions with optimized bid structures raise significantly more than those using default settings. Most platforms ship with settings that were never designed for charity auctions. They were designed for convenience. So the team at charityauctions.com built a free silent auction pricing calculator. It tells you the exact starting bid and increment for every item in your catalog. It is built on real event data, not guesswork. Download it free at charityauctions.com/pricing-calculator. I will put the link in the show notes. Let us start with the bid increment trap. This is the single most common reason auctions underperform. A bid increment is the minimum amount a new bid must exceed the previous one. Most organizers leave this at the platform default. That default is usually 10 to 20% of the item value. On a $500 item, every new bid must jump $50 minimum. That jump feels too big. A bidder at $200 sees the current bid is $250. They have to jump to $350 to stay in. That feels like a lot. They walk away. You just lost a bid. The fix is simple. Set your increments to 5 to 10% of the item value. On that same item, the next bid is only $25 to $50 more. That feels easy. That feels like a game. Small increments create more bids because each individual decision feels low risk. More decisions means more bids. More bids means higher closing prices. The math is simple. Lower the barrier and the bids follow. You do not need new bidders. You just need the same bidders to bid more often. That is what the increment fix delivers. The second mechanic is the social proof nudge. This is about making bid activity visible in real time. When a bidder sees 12 bids on an item, something happens in their brain. They assume the item is worth competing for. They want to be part of the action. This is the same psychology behind a crowded restaurant. You assume the food is good because other people are there. On a digital platform, you can display the total bid count next to every item. Turn that feature on if you have it. On a paper bid sheet, you can create the same effect. Use a sheet that shows every bid line, not just the current high bid. When a bidder sees 8 names on a sheet, they want to add theirs. When they see one name, they feel like they are bidding alone. Make the competition visible. Visible competition drives bids. It is one of the most powerful and most overlooked settings in any auction platform. Turn it on and leave it on. The third mechanic is the re-engagement text. This is the highest leverage tactic in this episode. In the final 15 minutes, send a mobile alert to every outbid bidder. The message is short. It says, "You have been outbid on the wine tasting for 2. The current bid is $300. Tap here to jump back in." That message does 3 things at once. It creates urgency with the time window. It names the specific item so the bidder remembers why they wanted it. And it gives them a one-tap path back to the bid. Research shows re-engagement alerts lift return bid rates by 30 to 40%. Most platforms have this feature built in. If yours does not, a volunteer can send individual texts in the final 15 minutes. It takes about 10 minutes and it is worth every second. It is worth the effort. One re-engaged bidder on a high-value item can add hundreds of dollars to your total. You earned that bid once. You just have to remind them. The text does that in 10 words or fewer. And it works whether you have a digital platform or a paper sheet. A volunteer with a phone and a list of outbid guests can run this manually. The result is the same. So let us recap the 3 mechanics. First, fix the bid increment trap. Lower your increments to 5 to 10% of item value. Each bid should feel like a small, easy decision. Second, use the social proof nudge. Display bid counts and full bid histories so competition is visible and contagious. Third, send the re-engagement text. Alert outbid donors in the final 15 minutes. Give them a direct link back to the item. These 3 changes do not require a bigger room or more guests. They do not require a bigger budget. They require a smarter setup. The bidders are already in the room. They already raised their hand once. Your job is to make it easy to raise it again. None of these tactics take more than 30 minutes to set up. You can do all 3 before your next event, and when you do, you will see the difference in your final total. Grab the free pricing calculator to get the exact bids and increments for your catalog. It is at charityauctions.com/pricing-calculator. I will see you tomorrow for another tip to help you build $1 million nonprofit.